When we are born into this world, do we have a role to play, a purpose? And if so, what is it? It seems to me that most people are confused and distracted here. A simple question is, are we happy? I mean, truly happy in this modern progressive life? The answer is no, let's be honest. Sit down and ask people what sort of life they would like. The life they are living is far from this. Why? What brought you to this place?
Самое первое это книжки Мигре. А потом возникли чувства по этим книжкам, захотелось создать то, что там написано. И я прочитала очень давно книжки, еще в школе, маленькая девочка.
Перед тем, после прочтения книг я 7 лет рисовала родовое поместье. Я его сотворяла, не на земле, а мечтала о нем. Потом я поступила в академию, закончила высшее образование, экономист, но, понимаете, работала по профессии, но работала, чтобы заработать средства для воплощения мечты.
The hidden combinations in the text will resonate in the reader's soul in their pristine form with no distortion. They are bearers of truth and healing, and they will fill the soul with inspiration. No artificial instrument is capable of producing what resonates in the soul.
We read the Ringing Cedars by Migre. Yes, it was very interesting for us to know the truth about the earth. It was very nice to accept by ourselves together, and yes, we decided when I was next time pregnant with our son George, we changed our mind. We were directors of tour company.
Oh yes.
And we earned very well. Wealthy, we were living wealthy.
Yeah.
But we were counting how many things we can buy. New television, new apartment, new car, next apartment. What will be next? So it was not fulfilled.
Я работала главным ревизором в управлении по налоговым преступлениям. Но всегда, каждый день я была со своей мечтой. Я приходила после работы, я садилась рисовать родовое поместье.
На самом деле идея создания родовых поместий очень впечатлила прочитанное. И мы загорелись идеей вот именно создать в своей жизни вот такое родовое гнездо, родовое поместье.
Книги ускорили появление поселений, то есть они ускорили объединение людей, которые уже, в общем-то, готовы были к этой мысли, и они стали объединяться на почве этих книг.
When people feel depressed and disconnected from life, they have to find a purpose. Often the answer lies in simply connecting with people, in a real sense, in longing for community. But also connecting with nature is equally important. All these things cost nothing, yet if you analyse how people use their energy in life, it gives you a picture today of a lost world. The world is completely insane. But how did this sorry state of affairs come about? Was it all just a natural progression, or has it been prompted, guided even by certain forces? If energy is represented by these pieces of paper we call money, then to rule the world you simply have to make the money. Who is behind this? A simple way to free yourself, you would think, would be to live simply within your means, to build simple houses, avoid debt and grow your own food. To grow healthy food you need some land, not much, maybe an hectare for a family, and then become intimately connected with it to understand it. When the powers that be moved across the planet, civilizing the native people, the first requirement was to move them from their ancient lands, their connection with the earth. Why would they willingly leave their beautiful life of abundance, their life of meaning? Once the natives were separated from their reality by force, then new goals could be given, new temptations. Is this what's happened? Who created those images? When you went to school, you were told what great progress the human race was making. But when I grew older and developed critical thinking, I began to realise that almost everything I was taught was not the truth. Most of it was lies or half-truths. Truths from the ancient past were not being told. Finding out the truth about the past was key. Where did these cultures suddenly spring up from, such highly advanced creations, whose structures are there for all to see? How did they do it? What we were being told in school was rubbish. One thing's for sure, when the invading forces came across ancient texts and hidden knowledge, they kept it hidden. Then they destroyed their culture and imposed the new image of man. What was it they wanted to keep hidden and why? All these cultures knew of the supreme creator or God and had deeply connected feelings to the earth, God's creation. The earth taught us about our divine nature and our relationship with God. There was no confusion about our roles within the natural order. It was all around for us to see.
То есть ты, когда пытаешься уехать из города, не знаешь, с чего начинать, как это все должно быть. А в книгах просто написано, как это должно у тебя получиться, к чему надо прийти. Общая картина твоего поместья уже вроде как нарисована.
The books, they showed us another possibility to move forward.
You just moved here 3 years ago, so only 3 years from reading the books to actually moving to this part of Russia.
Yes, so we made it very fast. All our decisions we took very fast. When we feel that the soul's answer is yes.
Yeah.
We don't hear to our mind anymore.
Yeah.
We try not to because it's sometimes press too. And so we changed our mind to live in the city.
Yeah.
We took all our necessary stuff in a car. I was pregnant and Liana, so we were 3 of us. We said goodbye for our mothers and fathers and grandmothers. It was really painful for them, but it's very nice to cut the chain when you are grown.
Yes.
It's a good experience for them too, because otherwise they can't live their life.
Ой, выбирали долго. Я вообще со Ставропольского края, мы там создали свое поселение, но жизненные обстоятельства так сложились, что переехали сюда. Здесь понравилось больше.
Every man must create around himself a small space of love. And if everyone understood this and acted upon it, then the whole earth would become the brightest focus of love in the universe. This is the way he wanted it, and this is man's purpose. For only man is capable of creating such a space.
Я очень хотел встретить свою половинку. Я уже думал больше об этом. Я еще не нашел здесь своей земли, думал больше о своей половинке, потому что без нее как бы я создавал бы это.
И самое интересное, встретились мы с Димой здесь. Дима приехал на 2 месяца раньше, взял землю. Затем я приехала сюда, в Краснодарский край, это за 2500 километров отсюда. И у меня тоже здесь была земля. Мы просто взяли, объединили наши участки вместе. Мы встретились.
Я просто, когда услышал о том, что создается поселение, взял простой спортивный велосипед и 400 километров проехал вот именно к месту назначения.
И друзья написали мне письмо, в общем, это поселение было одно из первых, как раз те, которые поселения были первые появились, вот их там было около чуть больше 10 по всей России в то время. Мне было не так легко выбирать здесь землю, хотя я изначально думал, что мне лучше ехать выбирать землю на запад, сюда, в западную, в центральную часть России. У меня такое было внутреннее, я думал, что мое родовое поместье должно быть где-то там, ближе. Моя мама с Вологодчины, отец с Брянщины, это как раз вот все здесь в центральной России, и меня тянуло как бы к своим корням.
Что привело? А привело вот что, я же говорил, у меня 10 внуков. Мне очень не нравится. Понимаете? Вот та система, которая сейчас существует у нас в России, она не жизнь, олигархическая демократия. Понимаете? А она не дает нормально развиваться личности человеку. Поэтому, увлекшись идеей родового поместья, я просто понимаю, что лучше идеи, лучше жизни нет. Потому что каждый из себя, когда задавал вопрос, именно райский уголок. А райский уголок можно сделать только на родовом поместье. И самый принцип, который существовал у нас на Руси тысячелетиями, это общинно-родовое поселение. Вот там человек развивается не единолично, а в поселении.
Looking at the natural order brings us to relationships in the family. Anastasia said restoration of love to families was as key in the creation of Earth's bright future. How do we do this? It looks to me that society is being led in the opposite direction towards the complete breakdown of the family. Who is leading this change and why, and who benefits? Anastasia described how long ago elaborate rituals were developed to facilitate finding one's soulmate. There was no question of intimate relations before marriage. In fact, the coming together, the union of man and woman to bring forth life, was a much more considered, a much more conscious act. The couple-to-be would be engaged in the co-creation of their space of love upon the land in which they were going to raise their future family. Land where the love would grow and become manifest and be passed on through the generations. This grand plan would be much bigger than the couple themselves. They would become an extension of the Creator's thought, feeling themselves at the centre of creation. The Creator's thoughts could be seen all around us in nature. These can be read as the crystallised thoughts of God. So the couple's joint creation on their land was a reflection of God's will on earth. This was their space of love. Anastasia said we are in fact the children of God, who has bestowed upon us the same abilities if our speed of thought could approach that of himself. But over the eons, man's speed of thought has been slowed down by desecration of the earth and further by man's increasingly selfish motives, ideas moving further from the truth. This dumbing down of man has taken us further away from our intended path. What has been the result of this? Just look at the world. Who has played a role in this? Who gains from this? The ultimate result of this is the complete breakdown of society. Witness the depression, the addiction, even suicide. This ugly creation of the world today is obvious for all to see.
Мы стараемся жить как одна большая семья, мы стараемся помогать друг другу.
They try to help each other, living like a very
Да,
like
в
a one
этом
big happy
сила
family.
единства.
This is where the power is, the power.
My name is Uliana. I'm 5.
Where do you live?
Vidrusia.
In Vidrusia.
Vedic
Do you like living in Vidrusia?
Yes.
What do you like about living here?
Что тебе здесь нравится жить? Почему ты здесь выбрала жить? По-русски говори, по-русски. Это я
Потому что тут очень красивая земля, очень красивые flowers.
Because here there's very beautiful land, beautiful flowers. I can see.
Качель красивую папа построил.
Father made a nice swinging thing.
Потому что тут земля-матушка очень много цветов рассадила, очень красивых.
Because our motherland gave us a lot of plants, flowers.
Do you like growing things?
Ты любишь
Yes.
выращивать вещи?
You do.
Какие, что ты помогаешь? What do you help? How do you help your mother? Plant flowers.
Plant flowers.
Your own body. Once you try a bit of everything, the body itself selects what it needs. It will feel like eating more of what you have chosen. Your body itself will determine what it needs.
When we had Uliana, our first daughter, we were observing about her health, about her habits, and she was not usual child, and we had many problems with meal because she preferred only raw vegan diet. But what do you like to eat?
Yeah, what do you eat?
Salad.
Ooh,
Salads.
what a great girl.
Green cocktails, green cocktails.
Yes.
She is fond of green cocktails.
What's green cocktail?
Green cocktail, green smoothie.
Oh, made from plants,
Smoothie.
yeah?
Yes.
Vegetables. And...
We picked all
Oh,
nice herbs,
yeah.
and you know, I discovered myself here with some people too that all herbs that grow on our land is very useful for people who live there. because it feels what necessary elements we need. And I knew one man, he had on his land a lot of calendula flowers.
Yeah.
Lots of them. And it was like a sign for him to take them. He didn't like, and flowers have gone. After he was very ill with cancer,
Yeah.
but calendula, it's very well, it's healing from cancer.
Yeah.
So he could prevent it.
Yeah.
Yes, so he didn't use, and for me it was very nice story to know that all plants we have here, it's a good sign to know what's necessary to get,
Yeah. Yeah.
to
Yeah.
prevent something or to fulfill some elements. So me and Ulyana, we go twice a week to collect, to pick flowers. Yes, eat, of course, daily meal is salads with
Yeah.
all we have.
Anastasia explained that in the beginning, the air itself was enough to sustain life, but eventually man had to take in more and more plant material from the earth to sustain itself. In the ancient Vedic culture, eating was more like browsing, a little of this, a little of that from a huge range of plants. The vibrations of the plants would fine-tune the body. Food would be like medicine. In fact, it was the thoughts that went into the growing and preparation of food that was essential to our health. Some kings of old times gave their peasants land to farm and keep through the generations. They would ask only for 1/10 of the produce in return, knowing that food grown with love and given with love would be best for their own health. If this is true, imagine how bad industrialized food production is for health, how little love has gone into its production. Now look at the so-called organic standards today. In the 1970s, when I was a young man, organic food was grown locally by small-scale farmers who supplied the local health food shops. Now look, how far away is this food being grown? Food that is not good enough quality will affect the functioning of the body and mind. Our thoughts are slowed down. In other words, we get dumber. Plants that have loving thoughts directed towards them return that love back to man and willingly give their life to him. So eating becomes an act of service, a sacred act. With this in mind, when a plant is picked, a little thought of thanks becomes a natural response. Anastasia mentioned that it was the loving hands of 2 million Russian people tending their garden plots in the 1980s that prevented a major health catastrophe.
All the wisdom of the universe is included forever in each soul right from the moment it is created. It is just that wise men slyly intellectualize for their own interests and thereby lead people away from the most important thing.
Вот родители, когда мы еще были маленькие, в детстве, да, как же, нас ориентировали на то, что вот самое там прекрасное, к чему можно стремиться, это вот там город, хорошая там профессия, хорошая зарплата, да, вот признание, уважение. Закончив академию, я поняла, что совершенно все не так. То есть, да, можно иметь хорошую там работу, хорошую зарплату, но это жизнь тела, а где жизнь души? То есть это как бы иллюзорная жизнь. И еще, смотрите, вот получается, да, я могла там, имея хорошую зарплату, я могла там купить вот там квартиру в многоэтажке. Ну, что такое квартира в многоэтажке? По сути, это же, ну как, ну извините, это как скворечник. Это, ну, каменные стены, везде асфальт, бетон, ну... А душа рвалась именно воплощать мечту. Вот здесь, на земле, жизнь реальная.
Why did it take so long for you to come from Moscow to here?
А вот я скажу, почему так долго. Во-первых, я вырос в семье, в которой технарь отец. И я стремился только к этому. Я закончил техникум, потом институт, потом второй институт. Стремился достичь в технократии.
Значит, в связи с тем, что в школьные годы мы жили в период Советского Союза, я получил образование инженер-механик строительно-дорожных машин и оборудования. Для меня сыграло важную роль в дальнейшей судьбе то, что во время в среде семейного образования, в школьном образовании, в образовании в институте, нам государство не предоставляло полную информацию об окружающем мире, об окружающей нас жизни. Поэтому в моей жизни, когда я уже вышел во взрослую жизнь после института, вышел, так сказать, практически увидел жизнь, как она есть. Когда во время образования мы не замечаем, что вокруг нас происходит. Мы просто из источников информации частично воспринимаем, потому что основное нас напичкают знаниями. В детском саду, в школе, в институте, изо дня в день нас напичкают техническими различными знаниями. Вот. И когда ты выходишь в жизнь, ты только тогда начинаешь его воспринимать, что она вот такая, тут есть начальник, есть подчиненные, у тебя свои обязанности и так далее. Вот, есть, и вот это неполное знание, оно, конечно, создает свою накладку, свои проблемы для человека, в частности для меня.
Наш Советский Союз, и пришла вот непонятная система, а у нас, как всегда, как революция или как что, к власти приходят одни идиоты, не идиоты, а вообще люди, подлецы, или как их назвать, это самое, ну, в общем, ненормально. А потом еще как в 92 году заключили договор, вот финансовый договор с Международным валютным фондом, а я был предпринимателем. И я только когда вот вошел, получилось так, что уже 20 с лишним лет нас грабят. Международный валютный фонд в виде вот этих процентов нас грабят постоянно.
И выходя во взрослую жизнь, я начинал в своей жизни встречаться с проблемами взаимоотношений на производстве, где порой бывала нечестность какая-то, там, воровство. Потом другие моменты, когда вот противостояние Советского Союза с Соединенными Штатами и с другим западным миром. У нас огромное количество вооружений. Мы воюем на планете, огромные народы собрались между собой и пытаются противостоять друг другу, уничтожить друг друга, какое-то сопротивление. И для меня это было все удивительно, мне было непонятно, почему, в чем причина этих воинственных настроений между народами. Я считаю, что этого не должно быть между людьми.
So could it be that our thoughts mold the reality we create in the future? Most people are unaware of the power of their thoughts, their ability to change reality. If this is true, then it makes sense that this knowledge would need to be kept secret by anyone who wants to control things on the planet. They could direct the thoughts of people in a particular direction, towards an end goal. What could that be? Have you ever thought how many thoughts you have are your own? How many are someone else's? Looking at the mainstream media, films and music in particular, in what direction is it leading? Anastasia asked, what is man's highest representation? What is the highest expression or image of man? It looks from observing the images pushed by the media that man is portrayed as something akin to a clever animal, but is not intelligent enough to prevent his own destruction. That man is a plague across the earth, outstripping its resources. But who is pushing this overconsumption? The people who create increasing desires for this materialism say they're just meeting demands, but is this true? If you ask the average person in the modern world, most would want a simpler, less material existence. A life where they have more time to think, to play, to be with their children. But most live in slavery, through debt, living beyond their means. Those that try and break away and live simply, for instance, building a low-cost dwelling, are deemed to be breaking the law. Whose law is this anyway? The Anastasia books have inspired tens of thousands of Russian people to move onto an hectare of land with other like-minded people to create their own space of love. In Russia, they have the freedom to do this. In these kin settlements, communities are being formed based on truth and beauty. Contrast this to the suffering on a huge scale of all the lonely, disconnected people desperately looking for what is lost, looking for love. For love is our true expression, limitless and connected to all that exists. People are very good at masking their unhappiness in life, and any distraction or obsession will do.
В принципе, вот когда развалился Советский Союз, я себе задал вопрос, а в каком же социальном строе я должен жить? Так вот, вот эта идея родового поместья для меня сейчас смысл жизни, цель жизни.
There is a new energy coming with Anastasia. It's like starting from probably the year of maybe 2000, 12, like specifically, when everything like blossomed in this direction, I would say that people start understanding that the roots are very important, because our culture was very strong until we had revolution, we had the war, 1, 2 war, like we had many wars in our history. Like maybe the majority of the wars in the world, they were on this territory.
In this territory.
And that could wipe out the culture, but it didn't. Because as much as they were tried, our genes, our memory, cellular memory or genetic memory, it remembers it, and then more, it's the the contradiction to it, then more we're trying to establish that back. So that's why those eco-villages are growing like the mushrooms after the rain now. People feel that it's not that hard to live on the on the land, because our ancestors have tremendous experience, and this experience now coming from all, like from Siberia, from Altai, from the most remote corners of our country. We have the tribes of people who still keep the knowledge. They're the knowledge keepers, and now they share this knowledge with us.
Just like Anastasia.
They give that, Anastasia is just one example. We have thousands of them.
Just one example.
They just
of this
they don't show up for the TV and radio.
These people don't.
They live hundreds of years. They prefer to stay quiet. They can look like 50-year-old woman, but she would be 200 years old.
All the proofs, all the truths in the universe are preserved forever in every human soul. Lies and falsehoods cannot survive for any length of time. They are exposed by the soul. That is why so many different kinds of religious treatises are thrown at man. Lies constantly need new disguises to survive. And that is why mankind is constantly changing its social structures, trying to find in them the truth it has lost, yet only distancing itself from the truth even more.
Вы знаете, тогда на перепутье стал, во-первых, я вырос в религиозной семье, христианской. Я душой и телом верил в эту религию христианскую. Но я был религиозным, шел по стопам своих родителей. Как они мне... У меня получился заворот в моих мозгах.
Заворот.
Ну или перевернуло. Дело в том, что когда Библию читаешь, дико становится, что именем Бога убивают, именем Бога все, что хочешь. Я положил перед собой Библию, Коран и Талмуд. И вот начал их. Оказалось, что, знаете, Талмуд говорит, что люди, придерживающиеся этой идеологии, богоизбранные. Через этих богоизбранных нам навязали религии, как мусульманскую, христианскую, И мы в этих религиях, в христианской мы рабы. Наше дело здесь подчиняться царю-батюшке, подчиняться начальнику, подчиняться управителю, и страдать. Так вот, когда я, как говорится, посмотрел на эти, оказалось, что каждая религия направляет друг на друга человека. Мусульманин, он правоверный. Мусульманин правоверный. Самое интересное, очень хорошо написано. Я не хочу сказать, что Библия много неправа. Там очень много неправды, а полуправды. Но эта полуправда приводит в конечном счете к демонии, к неправильной жизни. Так вот, когда я эти сравнил религии, мусульманскую, христианскую, иудаистскую, и оказалось, что везде противоречия. То есть сосуществовать вместе они не будут. А я тоже решил найти, как говорится, истину.
И в один из моментов моей жизни я узнал, что есть книга Библия, что есть верующие, то, что было вообще белым пятном. То есть мы не знали этих религиозных. И для меня первым источником духовной литературы или духовных знаний явилась Библия. В этот же примерно период я узнал о Порфирии Иванове, нашем русском подвижнике гармоничной жизни в природе. Я поехал в город и увидел буквально напечатанную, так сказать, на листочках первую книгу Анастасии. Ну а потом, конечно, в России, естественно, что она распространилась ранее, чем за рубежом. И Потом после этого ежегодно стали книга за книгой появляться. Вот. Это было примерно первое мое прочтение было примерно в 96-м году вот, прошлого столетия. 96-й год начали появляться книги, 7-й после напечатания. Самое главное, что какое вот от этих встреч с этими источниками знаний и с людьми, с такими, вот самое главное, что для себя, они учат тому, что если ты хочешь изменить мир к лучшему, если ты хочешь видеть мир лучше вокруг себя и в своей семье, то, конечно, ты не должен предъявлять претензии, ходить с манифестациями, что плохая партия, там, или лозунгами, что вот надо президента сменить, нужно, значит, поменять строй в стране. А эти книги и знания учат, что начни с себя, будь хорошим примером для людей в своей семье, в коллективе друзей, по отношению к природе стань лучше. И тогда у меня появился смысл в жизни, я понял, что нужно делать.
Что земля не поет, нет она, что она замолчала навеки, нет, звенит она, стоны глуша, изо всех своих ран, из отдушин, ведь земля.
После прочтения книг Сергея Алексеева, потом попались книги Владимира Мегре, в моем сознании перешло переосмысление происхождения славянских народов в нашем государстве, переосмысление жизни, говорится, в социуме, так скажем, в обществе и жизни в природе. И так сложилась жизнь, сложилась ситуация, что постепенно я начал познавать, учиться основам родной старой веры славянской. Говорится, получилось, что меня перевели на работу, возвратили на работу в Северский район, опять на эти земли. И здесь нашел единомышленников по книгам Мегре, это, говорится, родовые поместья. И сложилось так, что приобрел этот земельный участок, построили дом, и живем здесь, и праздники празднуем, и, говорится, возрождаем славянские традиции.
So I'm interested to know how this ancient belief fits and ties in with the Anastasia vision.
У Мегре есть такая одна из книг, у меня все книги Мегре Владимира есть, одна из книг называется «Родовая книга». И в этой книге я еще когда еще не знал, так, я прочитал эту книгу в одном понятии, так, когда уже прошло переосмысление, познал, скажем так, основу родной веры, и прочитав ее второе, мне просто пришло приблизительно в одном году, вот это в 1998 году, Владимир Мегре пишет книгу, так, и родовую книгу, и у меня и основы, скажем так, начала нашего возрождения, движения, такого серьезного, тоже начинается в 1998 году, в одно время. И у моего учителя Владимира Куровского есть такая дощечка кедровая, скажем так, написано от Владимира Мегре, «Звенящие кедры России, за возрождение ведического мировосприятия на земле».
When man admits the thought that he is not a perfect creation, when he all at once begins to imagine that there are beings on other planets of superior intellect, he himself feeds them by his own thought. Man himself thereby belittles his own God-given power and attributes power to other creations other than the divine they, those other creations, have already learned to gather the energy human thoughts and feelings can produce into a unified complex, and are proud of that achievement.
When you are a creator, you have the ability and desire and environment to create, which is nature. You cannot create in a flat, an apartment. What are you going to create? To paint the walls?
Well, Dulux likes that, isn't it?
Well, you know, it's very limited.
It's good for
Here
sales.
is a lot of stuff you can do. It's,
Yeah.
it's a different level. So she mentions always that you are creator. You're not just biological body
Yeah.
with the soul. You know, you have to fulfill the mission as a creator. That's the whole thing. And that's why you can make it just a simple building, or you can make it beautifully done with this whole. Like if you see old houses, Russian houses, they were done as a masterpiece. Each house had such a beautiful curving, like wooden curving, you know, beautifully done as a masterpiece.
I need to raise a man. I need to raise my son. That can only be done properly where a space of love has been created. This space has been created and perfected by my forebears, near and distant. It is still small, but it is what ties me to the whole substance of the universe. Every man must create around himself his own space of love and offer it to his child. Bearing children without preparing a space of love for them is criminal.
The central question is, which is asked by the Vladimir Megre in the last book, in 8.2, book 9, is how do we restore love to families? You know, this whole idea of how can we make the conditions for the bond between man and woman, for eternity, because obviously in our Western world, as you've experienced and been over there, it's getting more and more chaotic, things are breaking up even more and more, and I think it's a central question to whether we can form these Anastasia ideals,
So here, there's so much more application for men and for women, because this environment is not a city. Here's the nature. Man can build. He can do things around. He becomes more man. And woman becomes like as an organizer of the environment. He's a structure. She's
the do it person.
Perfect do it, and that's what helps them. The natural environment. Different vibration. That's what they feel. They can apply more energy, and they can find a way to become stronger together.
You mentioned that you were doing a workshop on being a man and being a woman.
Right. Well, we have to go back to our roots, to our traditions, to traditions of our ancestors. Yeah, because they knew how to live the right life, the right way.
Yeah.
They knew what the man should be, how the woman should be.
Yeah.
What they can do, what they can't do. Of course, man has to work out, has to be strong, healthy, stable, which is a big problem for me.
Right, okay.
He has to hold all his family,
And in a protective stance,
protect and then lead them.
Yeah. This idea would be very amusing, to people, in America and England and Ireland. This whole idea that you have to be taught how to be a man or taught how to be a woman.
When they don't have that, knowledge.
I'm very interested in the whole aspect of initiation into adulthood, into being a grown woman, a grown man, and how that can be facilitated. Is there a lot written about that?
У меня ребята жили здесь неделю, познавали основы ведического мировоззрения, основы целительства славянского, основы боевых искусств. Они чисто воспитывались в мужском коллективе. Наши поселенцы, Яснозор Чепурной, с Родниковой поляны, тоже с родового поместья Чепурных, он обучал их основам рукопашного боя, Я преподавал им по системе Белояр, обучал их живи, катали, говорится, обучали их на коня. То есть мальчики развивались чисто в мужском коллективе. Наша ошибка современного воспитания детей – это смешивание полов. Потому что ошибка современного воспитания мальчиков – это наличие преподавателей, учителей женского рода, скажем так, женского пола. Потому что в садике, в доме папа работает, мама воспитывает, там в садике воспитатели это женщины, в школе воспитатели, учителя женщины, и везде женщины. Как может женщина воспитать мужчину? И сейчас к нам родители отдают хлопцев на то, чтобы воспитать в них привет, как говорится. И вот в 7-9 лет мы проводим обряд подпоясывания, чтобы хлопцы не были распоясанными. К этому времени у человека появляется энергетическая оболочка, так называемая нави или ученическая, когда в человек начинают поступать знания, и, говорится, хорошие и нехорошие знания. И когда мы начинаем подпоясывание, чтобы знания поступали хорошие, и чтобы мальчик не был распоясанным в жизни. Перед этим, перед хлопцами, перед мальчиками у нас был лагерь для девочек. Было 12 девочек в возрасте от 6 до 12 лет, которым моя жена, она тоже, говорится, кукол, расписывали яйца, учились расписывать яйца, это живые яйца, расписанные воском. Это по старинному славянскую традиции. Это яйца-береги, яйца-программаторы, на что ты хочешь там надо. Или на каждого, писались на каждого ребенка, на каждого члена семьи, на папу, на маму. Девочки обучались, также я их обучал, как каждая мать это целительница. Я обучал лечить их руками. Дело посвящения. И вот они 5-6 дней они обучались чисто здесь, дома, скажем, женской бытовой магии.
On the land, I discovered another skill of me. It's sewing clothes and also needlecraft.
Oh yes.
And we use very strong symbols,
yes,
ancient.
Yeah.
And while doing that, we should know the moon.
Yes.
State.
Yeah.
And if it's, for example, growing,
yeah,
we make something for new, for growing a deal, or I don't know, I don't like the word business, but okay,
yeah.
In English it is.
Yeah.
For growing something, for growing money, for growing health or
yeah.
children.
Yes, yeah.
And we do it together too, and it helps 100%.
That really helps women to become women when they do stuff with their own hands, create some beautiful stuff for men. You know, it's like protective things. If you wear them, they will protect you. If your women made your stuff and you start wearing it. Plus, you know, all those signs that they make, they all mean different things.
So there's an old language.
It's an old language of our ancestors.
Yes, which we only have a
symbolic.
Yeah, symbolic, but we only have a little idea about what it's about. Really,
like
we don't know the full.
You know, like type thing like runes.
Runes, yeah.
Runes,
yeah. The signs, yeah, the ancient signs, yeah.
And they, if you put your energy in it, they can work for you. They can protect you and do different type of things.
With this situation where in this modern world, especially in Ireland and England and America is even worse. And they're just destroying the differences between the genders, between the sexes. You know, we've got a ridiculous situation now in America where in some schools now they're not even allowed to call girls girls and boys boys.
Это разрушает энергетику мира.
Yes.
Потому что мужская энергия, вы знаете, символ инь-янь. Это славянский символ. Если китайскому символу 2000 лет, славянскому символу 5000 лет. И посмотрите, у нас есть слова иньская энергия и яньская энергия. Иньская, женская, яньская. Как ее можно смешать? Как ее можно сделать? У нас слова, само слово крестьянин, крест, янь, инь. Слово славянин, славь, янь, инь. Слово дворянин, двор, янь, инь. Это мужская же, это гармоничное сочетание. Человек, значит, гармонично, в нем содержится и мужская, и женская энергия, или 7 я, говорится. И у нас латырь — это крест мужской и крест косой женский, говорится. Это, так что здесь, что делается сейчас в Америке, там, в Грит-Брит, в Англии, там, говорится, это разрушение ведического мировоззрения, основ мира. Это идет к тьме.
They try to imitate earthly creations in other galaxies, on other worlds, even using the planets which God had created. Many managed to come up with facsimile of earthly existence, but only a facsimile. The harmony of the earth and the interrelationship among all things, that is something none have been able to achieve. Thus, throughout the universe, even today, there are planets with life, but this life is but a poor imitation of life on the earth.
In reality, it's a very peaceful nation,
In
which
reality,
embeds a lot of nations except Russia. Every nation living here never disappeared, never lost their culture and individuality,
with the most
as small as
ancient
it is.
culture.
So it's a huge experience. Russia has huge experience combining different cultures.
So maybe that's part of what's happening
But
then.
let's talk about why this whole gay thing is happening. It's a satanic intention of elite, and they feel that strong opposition in Russian culture, which is, Vedic base, which cannot accept it. Whatever they do, they cannot ruin it. They cannot disturb it that much that it would
they're trying
disappear.
so hard, but now
That's why they do it now aggressively, especially those last years. Do you remember what Anastasia said? They will be against me, all of them, but
Yes.
I will try to bring you through the dark
Yes,
times,
yes,
right?
yeah.
She was talking about those
These
dark
times now.
forces,
Yeah, yeah.
which would become so intense.
Yeah. We live in strange times where speaking the truth is regarded as a threat to peace, even dangerous. So there is a dumbing down of society where even language is altered and many words disappear along with their meanings. Anastasia spoke in an extraordinary way where each syllable has a meaning in itself. When she spoke, clear pictures would be formed in Vladimir's mind. These images were backed by powerful feelings within which much information is contained. Music is a powerful combination of feelings and images, within which is contained many concepts and ideas. Could it be that the music industry is controlled by people wishing to guide society in a particular direction? Music could be used as an instrument of social engineering. Look back over the recent pop culture movements. How are the youth being led, and to what end? To be more effective, it would be helpful to create subcultures, such as the birth of the teenager after the Second World War. So we have again to ask, has this been prompted by the image makers? With this breakdown of these intergenerational ties, it would be easier to throw out anything that would be seen as controlling or restrictive. Now anything goes, no need for morality, that's old school. Now all this separation has led to a me society where it's all about the individual and their own personal gains. But now this individual has become depressed and isolated. Why? Maybe it's because it's not our role to be selfish. Is this living in fear? This fear has permeated the whole of life People now live in a self-imposed prison, the ultimate expression being the gated communities springing up around the modern world. Unfortunately for those people, they realise they can't take their wealth with them. So what could they leave behind that has value?
So what about your children now? What are your visions, or what direction would you like to see your children move in?
Of course, we take care of them now, but we are giving for them freedom, and also they can choose any place in the earth to live in and to raise their children.
Yeah.
So of course it's more important to be in a good relationship with soulmate.
Yes.
If we are in a peace, if we are in love, our children are happy, and no matter where they live, they are happy and safety, protected by our love.
All women should avoid intimate relations with men who permit destructive thinking into their consciousness, so as not to reproduce it over and over again. Vladimir, if women start acting that way, there will be no war on the earth.
I want to find the land which vibrates with me, that I feel that this is where I want to stop and do things. You know? So I'm looking in, and I was in different eco-villages before. So this is the 4th eco-village I'm visiting and comparing. Comparing the
So you're trying to, trying to feel into where you need to root to.
And you know what? I'm also confirming for myself things like, yes, it's growing, it's getting stronger, people are not giving up, it's great. It's like confirmation for me, it gives me like chills.
No, I've heard about this community when it, about 3 years ago when it was just starting. But the thing is, I didn't have a wife this time. And the rule of this settlement is that you have to be a family.
And you have and now you've found a wife.
Yes, now I have.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
I exist for those for whom I exist. They and I coexist together side by side in each other's hearts. If you think about it a bit longer, it will make sense to you. I exist because of them. They have the power to engender and not to destroy. They will understand you and support you and will be mentally by your side.
The families that are building their spaces of love on their hectare of land have a grand idea. The land itself will be their testimony, a physical representation of their belief in a beautiful future on planet Earth. That energy itself will attract future families to live in these beautiful areas of the Earth, and they will remember who they are, co-creators with God. Everyone will feel the love. As our awareness returns, our sensitivities return, we will begin to feel the energy of love, even in an handcrafted object that has been made with loving hands, such as a shirt made with the future wearer in mind. The people will begin to desire these items made with such love, and mass-produced items will decline. This will dramatically reduce the use of the Earth's resources, and the healing of the planet will begin. With the restoration of people's minds, they will be able to clearly see who is truthful and who is not. Anastasia said that a good way of determining whether a politician is worthy of office is to look at his own space of love and how he created it. Actions speak louder than his words. He would of course spend at least half of his time living and working on his own space of love.
Ты скажи мне, белый кречет, время от чего не лечит ран душевных ран. Ты летаешь в синем небе, не видал ли ты за небом стран, чудесных стран?